Before you chew another clove for fresh breath, steep them in your morning tea for digestion, or add them to your daily wellness ritual with the belief they are universally safe, I need you to stop and watch this. Cloves are not a benign kitchen spice in the context of daily medicinal use. They are pharmacologically active, and for a significant number of people, particularly those over 50, incorporating cloves into a routine can inadvertently cause more harm than good. The very compounds that grant them their power are the same ones that can clash with common health conditions and medications in this stage of life. Let's reframe this with critical clarity. The most dangerous assumption you can make is that natural automatically equates to harmless. This is a fallacy that leads to unintended consequences. Cloves contain concentrated bioactive substances, primarily eugenol, which directly interact with your physiology. They influence blood clotting pathways, gastric acid secretion, liver enzyme systems responsible for metabolizing drugs, and nervous system signaling. They are not passively digested, they actively engage. And just as you wouldn't take a prescription medication without understanding its contraindications, you should not dose yourself daily with a potent botanical without the same scrutiny. In this vital video, I will outline 7 specific warnings, 7 clear scenarios where regular clove consumption is ill-advised or outright risky. We will progress from common digestive sensitivities to severe systemic interactions. If even one of these warnings applies to your personal health profile, you should reconsider making cloves a daily habit. And the final warning, number 7, is the most commonly overlooked, representing a subtle form of long-term misuse that many well-intentioned people commit. Before I reveal it, a quick request. 99% of you watching aren't subscribed. If you value this crucial safety info, please help us reach 50,000 subscribers this month. Your subscription and like fuel this mission. Thank you. Now, to the warning. Warning number 7. If you have a sensitive stomach or acid reflux, GERD, cloves are carminative and stimulative. One of their actions is to promote the secretion of digestive juices, including stomach acid, for someone with a robust, healthy gastric lining. This can aid digestion. However, if you are among the many who experience frequent heartburn, gastritis, or a diagnosis of GERD, this stimulating effect can be problematic. The increased acidity can irritate an already sensitive or inflamed esophageal and stomach lining. Chewing whole cloves is especially potent and direct, delivering a concentrated dose of essential oils that can trigger or worsen symptoms like burning, discomfort, and regurgitation. What is meant to soothe digestion can, in this case, become an irritant. This, however, is just the surface-level digestive concern. A more serious condition warrants even greater caution. Warning number 6, if you have active stomach or duodenal ulcers. This is a direct escalation. The eugenol in cloves, while anti-inflammatory in some contexts, also promotes blood flow, vasodilation, and can increase gastric activity. If you have an open ulcer, a wound in the lining of your stomach or duodenum, increasing blood flow to the area and raising acidity is countertherapeutic. It can delay the healing process, increase irritation, and potentially worsen pain. It is a critical distinction. Cloves are not a healing agent for ulcers. Using them under this misconception can actively impede recovery. Now we shift our focus from the digestive tract to the cardiovascular system, where the interactions become significantly more consequential. Warning number 5. If you are on prescription blood-thinning medications, this is one of the most serious pharmacological interactions. Cloves possess natural antiplatelet and anticoagulant properties. Eugenol can inhibit blood clotting. If you are taking medications like warfarin, Coumadin, clopidogrel, Plavix, or even a daily therapeutic dose of aspirin for heart health, adding a daily source of clove compounds can potentiate this effect. This doesn't mean a single clove in a recipe is dangerous, but consistent daily intake, whether as tea powder or chewed, can incrementally increase your risk of bleeding, bruising easily, or experiencing more serious hemorrhagic events. Your medication dose is calibrated based on your diet and other factors. Introducing a strong natural anticoagulant disrupts that calibration. But the cardiovascular effects of cloves aren't limited to thinning blood. They also influence a blood pressure dynamics. Warning number 4. If you have chronically low or unstable blood pressure, cloves have vasodilatory properties. They can help relax and widen blood vessels, which may contribute to a modest lowering of blood pressure. For someone with hypertension, this might be a perceived benefit. However, for individuals who already struggle with low blood pressure, hypotension, or experience orthostatic hypotension, dizziness upon standing, this effect can be detrimental. It can exacerbate symptoms of lightheadedness, weakness, fatigue, and even lead to fainting spells, particularly if consumed on an empty stomach. It's an example of how a benefit for one person becomes a risk for another. We now move into a broader, more complex category of risk that affects a vast number of seniors: polypharmacy. Warning number 3: if you take multiple daily medications. The liver uses a system of enzymes, notably the cytochrome P450 family, to metabolize and clear many pharmaceuticals. Compounds in cloves can inhibit or induce some of these enzymes. This means cloves can alter the speed at which your body processes other drugs. They might cause a medication to be cleared too quickly, reducing its efficacy, or too slowly, leading to a buildup in potential toxicity. If you are on a regimen of medications for heart conditions, diabetes, mood, or cholesterol, adding a daily herbal modulator like cloves is introducing an unpredictable variable. It is not a trivial addition. It is a potential interference that should be evaluated by a doctor or pharmacist. The next warning concerns one of the body's essential filtration systems, which often sees a decline in function with age. Warning number 2: if you have reduced kidney function, the kidneys are responsible for filtering waste products and metabolites from the blood. The concentrated array of compounds in cloves, oxalates, phenolics, essential oil metabolites, presents a filtration load. In young, healthy kidneys, this is manageable. However, if you have known kidney issues, even early stage chronic kidney disease, CKD, common in seniors, this additional load can place unnecessary metabolic stress on these vital organs. The concern is greater with concentrated forms like clove powder or high dose extracts. Protecting kidney health means being mindful of everything you ask them to process. Finally, we arrive at the most pervasive and insidious warning, one that stems from a more is better wellness culture. Warning number 1: if you use cloves daily without strategic breaks. This is the cornerstone of prudent herbal use, the principle of pulsation, not constant bombardment. Cloves are a powerful stimulant to various systems: digestive, circulatory, nervous. Using them every single day, long term, without respite, can lead to a form of systemic irritation or receptor desensitization. It may quietly increase low grade inflammation in the gut, perpetually nudge anticoagulant pathways, or overstimulate nerve responses. Cloves work best as an occasional strategic support, a brief, targeted intervention, or a sporadic addition to the diet. Daily perpetual use is not how these potent botanicals were traditionally employed and can shift their role from ally to stressor. Important safety summary: do not make cloves a regular part of your routine if you have active stomach ulcers, GERD, take blood thinning medication, have low blood pressure, take multiple prescriptions, or have reduced kidney function. Never assume natural equals universally safe. What to do? Instead, if you choose to use cloves, do so intelligently. Keep doses small, 1 to 2 cloves, not tablespoons of powder. Use them occasionally, not daily. Think of a few times a week at most. prefer steeping them in hot water to make a tea rather than chewing them raw, as this slightly moderates the delivery of oils. Most importantly, take regular breaks. A pattern of 5 days on, 2 days off, or using them for a few weeks, then stopping for a week allows your body to reset and avoids cumulative effects. If you value an honest, nuanced, and safety first approach to natural remedies, one that respects both their power and their potential for harm, then I invite you to stay with this channel. Subscribe for insights that prioritize your long term well being over trendy quick fixes. Now, I have to ask, were you aware of these potential risks? Did any of these 7 warnings, like the blood thinner interaction or the kidney concern, apply to you or surprise you? Write the number in the comments. Awareness is the first step to safety because the ultimate goal of true health wisdom isn't to blindly use more natural remedies. It's to use the right ones for the right person at the right time and with deep respect for their power. That is the path to safe and sustainable wellness.